everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mercury, and in today's video we're doing Mercury in Scorpio, and then in my next video, as you all know, we're doing Mercury in Scorpio through the houses. But yeah, in this video we're doing Mercury in Scorpio, as I just said. And before we begin, I'd like to thank everybody that has been supporting me thus far, this channel, me, my vibes, whatever, and all the people that have been getting readings from me. Thank you guys so much. But if you would like a reading from me, hit me up on my Instagram, which I will link below, and you can get a reading from me. Just DM me and then I'll send you a menu of all the different readings that I provide. And then, you know, we'll get to it, period. But anyway, yeah, let's just get straight into it. So we have what do we have? We have this Mercury. We have Mercury, and then we have Scorpio, right? And Mercury, as we know, rules an air sign and it rules an earth sign, and Scorpio is a water sign, right? So naturally Mercury already doesn't favor being in water signs, because in water signs Mercury has to slow the fuck down, you know, like whereas in air signs it kind of like picks up information very quickly, you know, that picking and receiving and then externalizing information. That's what Mercury likes to do. But then in Virgo, it likes to organize its information before it externalizes it, right? So that's the two polar shifts Mercury likes to be in. A, logically reasoning, right? Or B, organizing things, right? So when it gets into water, it has to slow down its thinking processes and kind of feel through the information, like feeling information, right? And that's, I would say, double work on Mercury's part, because whereas Mercury is a very lighthearted, childlike energy, where it's very quick, you know what I'm saying? It wants to be quick, it wants to be in and out. But in water signs, it has to slow down, and it has to think about what it's feeling, and it has to slow down to feel what it's receiving, like feel the information it's receiving, right? But in Scorpio, see, Scorpio is a water sign. As I said, it's fixed water, ruled by Mars, co-ruled by Pluto, ruled by the 8th house, right? So if we take all those things and we put it into Mercury, Mercury now has to think and analyze about taboo shit, right? Mercury, but here's the thing, because it's ruled by Mars, and Mars is somewhat very can be very harsh and very direct and very quick with how it delivers its information, or its energy, not information, how it delivers its energy. With Mercury and Scorpio, it's a thing of, these people know how to assess the depths of a situation somewhat quickly. They know how to assess the depths of a situation quickly. I now sounded very like unsure, but that's how it is. It's like they know how to assess it's like they know how to assess what's this word? You know when someone says let's get to the bottom of something? That's Mercury and Scorpio vibes. It's like they know how to get to the bottom of something, aka find the true motive, the true intention of something very quickly with the nerves, right? Because the Mercury rules our nervous system and our eyes and our information process, or information taken, right? So when Mercury gets into Scorpio, it obviously processes information, but in the dark. So it's analyzing things from a dark, and by dark I mean like things that we don't see. As you all know, like whenever I speak about the 8th house, I always talk about hidden motives, you know, reading in between the lines, and all of that really just dissects itself down into agenda, or into intention, or the deep-seated intention, the roots intention. Even with Aries energy, it's all about the intentional, the point. It's getting to the point. But whereas Aries is, yeah, getting to the point, they're more so doing it not necessarily to connect emotionally to you, because they're doing it for, you know, the expression. Scorpios, because it's a water sign, they're doing it to connect to the feelings. So that's why a lot of Aries Mars and Scorpio Mars will have similarities in that way, because both of them don't necessarily speak unless they have a point to get out, or unless there's an intention to get out right? Because of that Mars aspect. Mars is all about your intentions, your will, your passion, willpower, you know, your ambition, all of that, self-preservation. So with Mercury being in these signs and Mars, they thinking or they're communicating, or when they think and they communicate, they're trying to get to the point. But Scorpio, whereas an Aries really would get to the point and then like get over it, a Scorpio will get to the point, but for them it's like, how do I say this? For a Mercury and Scorpio person, when they want to get to the point, they're more so getting to the point because they felt that, like they feel, for example, right? Let's say, and this is the example that I'm going to give is going to prove why they don't necessarily do well in social groups all the time unless they have like a Libra sun sign, whereas Libra sun signs, because obviously Libra aspect makes people more so indecisive, right? So if you're a Libra with a Scorpio Mercury, you're probably someone that, sure, you can be indecisive, but you know how to, I guess, quickly assess. You know, your indecision will come from kind of seeing both sides to a point, yes, but you'll be a lot quicker to get to a point or make a decision because you will already know what your desire is, right? So you will think about your own desire, and then maybe your indecisiveness will come from choosing how you want to execute that desire, you know, because there's like a lot of, for example, let's say you're Mercury Scorpio with a Libra sun sign, and you want to let's say you want to decide where to eat, right? So let's say you want to eat at what, KFC or I don't know, Chicken Licken, right? So you know the point is for you to eat, but I think your indecision would come from, damn, where do I want to eat? But at the same time, like your decision making will come a lot quicker than someone with a Libra sun, Libra Mercury, right? Where they'll be like super indecisive and take a lot longer to decide. But with the Mercury and Scorpio, how they think and analyze and how they process their thing is for them it's like they're always gonna think about their own desires, right? They're gonna think about what do they need, or yeah, what do they need and what do they want, and then think about why they want it, right? Really take their time thinking about why they want it, getting to the bottom of why they even have that desire in the first place. And this is why, they're like deep thinkers in that sense, because whatever thought that they have to dissect it very psychoanalytically. Like they have to question themselves, okay, why do I like this person? What qualities do they have that I admire, right? And sure, I admire them, but just because I admire someone, does that mean I have to be their friend? Okay, do I want to be their friend? But why do I want to be their friend? You know, or why do I not want to be their friend? Or what have they shown me in my life that makes me attracted to them? You know what I'm saying? Or what about them has sparked something in me to even want to, you know, like continue getting to understand them even more, you know? And these are the people where like you might meet them because they're not necessarily, they don't know social cues. They're not necessarily good at understanding social cues because they the type of people, if they meet you, they're already probing into you. They're like trying to ask you about your psychology. And I'll make an example because I've met a female like this, and we were at like a little gathering thing, and she was like her sun sign is on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio, but she has a Scorpio Mercury. And mind you, like, you know, social cues, it's like a lot of like polite conversations or maybe existential conversations. But if you go to a social situation, like if someone is probing at you while you're drinking alcohol, if someone is probing at you, bruh, let's say you like off, you know, you took a shot, so you offer a shot, right? Or you maybe smoked a little something. It's a vibe. Like, you guys know what parties are, right? Whatever. Everybody knows what a party is. So obviously in parties, you speak party language. There's like party topics that you can talk about, you know. And then there's obviously the private conversations that people have in private, where they go to a bathroom, they go to a then maybe those vibes, those would probably be the Scorpio Mercury vibes. But if not, then I was leading up to say this, is that this girl, so mind you, this party basically was like a house party. So I was helping like chop up plates, and I mean, not like chop up food, whatever. So then she comes up to me, and then she starts asking me like hella, like detective question. She was like on some so hey, obviously, you know, because I know Scorpio and Mercury know how to like work. I don't know if it's like something that you guys know you do, or maybe it's just how we receive it as people who don't have a Mercury in Scorpio. But anyway, she came to me, and this is no shade, I'm just giving an example. So she came to me, and I was chopping food, and then she was like, hey, I was like, hey dude, and then, you know, complimenting outfits. Oh, I like you, cool, whatever. And then so guys, mind you, I'm fairly skinny, like I'm a fairly skinny woman, right? So mind you, this and I came to the party with a nachi, like a little nachi, like an orange thing, whatever. So and I was sharing it with people because there was like fruit steaks. So I was like, oh fuck it, let's all just eat nachis and whatever, you know, vibes. We'll be healthy. So then we start talking about food, and she's like, dude, you're so skinny, do you eat anything, right? But that's like how she said it was, wow, you're so skinny, I want to be like you, so what do you eat, or what don't you eat? And I was like, the way she said it though, it was just the way it came out. Because anybody else could have asked me that question, and I would have been like, oh, whatever, or I would have been like, nah. But it was the way, it's the way. And that's the thing with Scorpio, it's always the way, it's the energy centered around it, because it's Pluto there too. And it's Pluto in your words, right? So you could also be a super sweet Mercury in I mean, she was a cool bitch, like she's hella dope. But at that point when she said that, I got offended because I was like, wait, what? What are you trying to say? Like, are you trying to say like I'm like? And then it made me think, like, it made me psychoanalyze myself, right? And maybe she didn't mean to do that, or maybe she did. But the fact is, she made me feel some type of way. Also, give you another example, right? There was this dude that but fuck it, right? You guys probably already curious, but there was this dude that I was like having a little vibe with, you know, nice. And then I remember we were hanging out for a little while. Mind you, also Scorpio Mercuries don't talk that much, as I said, because even their jokes will always have the intention, like if they're joking, their intention of saying things is to bring out an emotion. Right, and that's the thing with water signs, is that they're always trying to get a reaction because they are reaction based. That is what feelings are. That's the water element. They deal with reactions. The reactions. If you know what a reaction is, then that whole concept stems from the water element, right? So even if a Scorpio Mercury person is trying to make you laugh, like whatever they're gonna say is intended or is It's like their words are spells, bro, and damn it, those spells are powerful. Because here it is, right? Is that you take words into the depths of Pluto, into those dark waters, right? And Mercury is moving hella slowly, analyzing things. So when Mercury is saying something, those words come from Pluto. They come from those depths, bro. So when they are externalized, they come with that impact. So whether that person was, I don't know, saying something casual or whatever, it won't sound casual. You know why? Because it's packed with Pluto. It's packed with Pluto. It's packed with that 8th house. So it's more powerful. Which is why a lot of Mercury Scorpio people, you'll find that these people, even Mercury in the 8th house, these people are a lot quiet. They're a lot more quiet. Because when they think about things, they're more so coming from it from a psychological point of view, right? They're analyzing where that topic even came from. Because you could be someone, for example, who, let's say you're someone who likes to talk a lot, and maybe not talk a lot. Let's say you're someone who wants to dominate a conversation, for example, right? You come into a conversation with a topic like, I hate trap music, and trap music is shit, and it's dirty music, like it's trash, da da da. A Mercury and Scorpio person will let you talk, they'll let you finish, they'll hear you out, you know. And that's the thing, because they're very patient, and it's that control aspect, right? Because Pluto is there, obviously, so they have that control over their voices and over their thoughts and over their words, essentially, right? So yeah, so let's just say that person is like talking and they're busy, trap music is shit, da da. A Mercury and Scorpio person will let you finish. They'll let you finish. Okay. Or maybe, because it also depends, because if they have a Libra sun, then they'll probably like cut you off and be like, actually, no, you're wrong. But like if they have a Scorpio sun with a Scorpio Mercury, and even a Sagittarius sun with the Sagittarius sun with the Mercury Scorpio. Do I know? Yeah, even sometimes a Mercury in Scorpio with the Sagittarius sun will also do this. They'll just sit back, let you finish, like, oh, okay, you said your little soupies. Then take a breath. Are you done? And then it's like, ugh. And that's the thing with their words are like, so they command you to like really hear them. It's almost as though their words kind of like grip you somewhat, sometimes paralyze you. And once again, I don't know if, you know, sometimes it could be a situation where they don't do it intentionally, sometimes they do it intentionally, but as I said, it's the impact, it's the feeling of how you're going to receive it as someone who isn't a Mercury in Scorpio, right? So they'll be like, okay, so you finished. Okay. Well, I think that you are biased in saying that trap music is shit. You just don't like it. Other people like it, right? And listen, and Mercury in fucking fire sign, earth sign, air sign could have said that same thing, but it wouldn't have had that much of an impact. But just because they said it, and that Pluto was there, it's gonna impact you more. A lot more. Whether they intend to do it or whether they don't intend to do it. And most of the time, they obviously grew up learning that they have this power over people and that they can make people feel some type of way just depending on what they said, you know? So some people, that's why they choose to be here. That's why they choose to be here. Because, A, these are the type of people that don't necessarily know how to have social cues. They don't know how to be like a social, maybe as a Libra Mercury or Gemini Mercury, a Leo Mercury, Aquarius Mercury. Oh, sorry. There we go. Yeah, like they're not necessarily always social. So in, you know, social situations, they wouldn't really thrive that much, because if let's say you're a Mercury and Gemini, Mercury and Libra person, and you're, you know, sometimes you say things just to say something. They won't, either A, they'll ignore you, B, they'll, you know, fake laugh, or they'll look at you like, okay, or just not say anything, like just plain out ignore you, because for them it's like, oh wait, you didn't feel what you just said, like what you just said didn't come from like emotional, it wasn't backed up with emotions, you know what I'm saying? So if it wasn't backed up with emotions, then there's no intention for them to connect to it because you didn't connect to it. It's very similar to the fire signs, but for the fire signs is more so how you express yourself. So if you're not expressing yourself when you're talking to a fire sign Mercury, then they're not connecting with you. So there's no expression, you know, there's no something for them to connect to it, like expression wise. But for water signs, it's emotional based. So if you're not feeling what you're saying, then they're not gonna feel it either. And if they don't feel it, then they're not interested. Because here's the thing with Scorpio Mercuries, they have that all or nothing tendency. Scorpio energy is always gonna have that all or nothing. So you either all the way feeling what you're saying so that they can connect to it, or you're not. And if you're not, then it's bullshit to them. Oh, that shit is for the birds. For the Mercury air sign birds, you know what I'm saying? Like the air sign Libra, Aquarius, and sometimes what else? Not Aries. Yeah, that's it. Let me just leave it at that, you know? So if you're kicking, so if you're like saying some shit to them, because obviously it depends though, because you will get those Libra Scorpio, I'm saying Libra Scorpio, those Mercury in Scorpio people with a moon in, you know, an air sign, so they are a lot more chatty patties, whatever, you know. But for the most part, even if they are doing that, what they're saying is going to be intentful, you know. And if they don't necessarily get the reaction that they want, then they're going to keep going at it. They're going to keep probing until they get what they want, till they get the reaction that they want. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And another thing, and then, oh fuck, I forgot to give you that example with that guy, right? So but it really was just gonna end up, the whole example was just to lead to the fact that his words were impactful and that they impacted me, whether he knew it or not. So, you know, just leave that there. Yeah, make it a mystery. yeah. Anyway, so that's another thing with Mercury and Scorpios, is that because they have that detective mind, they're like, that's the thing with all water sign Mercuries though, and like, you know, I didn't really understand the extent to how deep this shit is. Once again, I didn't know how deep this shit was, bro. Until I fucked around and I found out. So let me give you some intel, you guys. So Mercury and Scorpio person, because they're a water sign, right? And like most water signs and most water house rule people, like 4th house, 8th house, 12th house, these people are psychologically intelligent, right? So remember, Scorpio is exalted in Uranus. And Uranus is all about change, rebellion, you know, innovation, that genius energy, that genius madness, whatever. And then they have Pluto on their side, and then they have Mars. And then they have water, then they have 8th house, right? So you put all that into Mercury, bro. You get someone who's psychologically intelligent as they grow. Because that's the thing with Scorpios, is that with every experience that they encounter, right, with different people, obviously, because obviously we're all born kind of unaware of how to handle our power or our signs, our Venus, Mars, you know what I'm saying? We obviously grow into understanding those things. So with every experience that they transform into and then transform out of, they get to psychologically understand themselves a lot better, and thus understand the world and people and emotions and the mind, and how to combine the emotions and the mind together into this packed blob of just wisdom, right? So here it is. A Mercury and Scorpio person is someone that's going to, they're gonna see what they essentially want to know what makes you tick. They want to know information about you, because information is power, right? If you know someone's weakness is that they are insecure, or they can get insecure easily, then as a Mercury and Scorpio person, they take that. They won't tell you, like, they won't be like a Mercury and Libra or Mercury and Gemini sometimes, where they'll be like, dude, you kind of look insecure all the time. You know, they'll tell you everything that they're thinking. A Mercury and Scorpio person is gonna, like I said, be here. Because to them, it's like, wait, what's the intention of telling you? But it's also like, if I tell you, then you will know that I know your weaknesses. And then, I don't know, you might start lying, and you might start, like, doing things that I don't want. This is me as a Mercury and Scorpio speaking. It's like, if I tell you what I think about you right now, then that means you have the knowledge to know what I think. And having that knowledge over me means that you have power of some sort. And that's the thing with Pluto. That's the little trick that Pluto has, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because the little psychological powers that you have with control is that you don't want anyone to psychologically control you. So you understand that for someone to psychologically control you, they'll have to know things about you, right? And that's that whole thing with the Scorpio and having a facade, or pretending to be someone else, or I don't know, having that thing where you show the world one side, but you know you another person, but you want the world to analyze this side of you, so that they can't control this side of you. So it's a thing of like, you like when people think that you're this thing, because then, you know, if they open up to this version of you, and they, you know, they tell this version of you secrets and their deepest, darkest, what, this side of you seems, you know, harmless or whatever, right? But this part is really just protecting that part that's hidden, that you know how to damn well hide so freaking much, right? So this thing is like, and it could be anything, because a lot of Scorpio Mercuries can either be super aloof, dry, you know, those super awkward people that don't talk to anybody, they're super quiet. That's also a mask. That's their shy side. That's also a mask. And then you get those other ones that are like super expressive, super funny, you know, those guys. That's also a mask, right? And then you get those other ones that are, I don't know. Yeah, I think it ranges from like the super sociable ones, and then the super like shy ones, you know? Yeah. Either way, they have a mask. They're always wearing that mask, right? And they want people to psychologically analyze that mask, knowing damn well that they're hiding their true styles there. Because here's the thing with them, it's for a Mercury and Scorpio person, they think, if I as a Mercury and Scorpio person, if I can hide who I am, because who I truly am is very hot, like a volcano, and very erupty, like erotic. I think that's the word, like erotic. You're always like hot, and you know, and that's the thing, you're very similar to a Mercury in Aries, where and even Mercury in Taurus, even Taurus energy really, and Sagittarius energy, where your arguments are very direct and they fast, and that's the thing, you're very quick too. You know, and when you're not quick, you're always like analyzing and assessing a situation before you can come with the quickness, because when you say something, you say what you mean and you mean what you say, right? And obviously because you mean what you say and it has that impact with that Pluto shit, what you say is very impactful. It's heavy almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like carrying, like, have you ever been to the gym and then you have those thingies? That's what it feels like. It feels like you throwing fucking bricks at people. It feels like bruh, it feels like, hold on. Okay, yeah. It feels like you're throwing bricks at people when you say shit, you know? And then that's a lot of what am I saying? A lot of the times, like, when you give a compliment to someone, you know, because it also has that impact, it makes someone feel so good. And that, in that sense, you're very similar to a Mercury and Virgo person, because I mean, for different reasons, because Mercury and Virgo is always nagging and complaining and criticizing. So when they eventually do say something nice, it's like, oh, really? Oh my god, really? You know, but for you, it's somewhat similar, but for you, it's just because of that impact, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's because most of the time you're quiet, so when you do say something, you know, and people know that whenever you do say something, it's genuine, because most of the time you don't talk, so when you do talk, people listen, and they're like, oh, wait, guys, wait a minute, she said something. She said something, you know, and that's another thing with Mercury and water sign people, is that they usually speak with their eyes, and that's why a lot of water signs will get each other, because they don't really have to use words. They just, you know, use mysticism, and that's what mysticism is, when you don't really have to use words. You just look at each other and you know what's up. You know what's up, because the vibes speak louder than the words sometimes, you know, and I get that, bro. I get that, bro. So you don't have, sometimes you just speak with your eyes. Like, you look at someone and someone already knows. Or even if they don't necessarily know what you're saying, they can kind of, you know, they feel the intensity of, because listen, it's a when you want to speak to someone, you will give out the energy, or you will exude the energy that, yes, I'm in a talkative mood, right? But when you don't, you usually exude pulsating, fiery energy, right? Which is most of the time an indicator that, bitch, stay away. Don't do it. Like, not right now, right? So that's how you communicate with your vibe. You use your vibrations and your eyes. You actually use these and these, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Because of that psychology. There we go. It's because of that psychology. So you know how to naturally just, like, probe into people's minds. Even, you know, you don't even, and that's something you would share with Aquarius, is that observation quality that all of you guys have, you know, which is kind of being an outsider, but for different reasons though, because Aquarius is, well, actually it's very similar reasons, no lie. It's really just understanding the psychology of humans, but I think Aquarius is more so detached from, you know what, both of y'all be detached motherfuckers, bro. I can't even lie, bro. Because both of you have this thing where it's like, you've been ostracized and been, you know, rebellious from humanity, because both of you share that Uranus quality, right? So you guys, like, kind of view humanity from an outside perspective. But I mean, Aquarius is a lot more talkative. So I think maybe Aquariuses would be a lot more, they want to understand people, so that when they travel all around the world, or when they go into different places, then because they understand these group of people and they understand the individuals of each group of like this group of people, then they know, oh, okay, Susie's like this, Tepo's like that, Tabo's like that, Balisa's like that, okay? So when they move out and they meet similar people that are like that, they can be like, oh, okay, well, I know how to approach these guys. But the thing is, Scorpio can be like that too. But maybe the thing is that Scorpio isn't necessarily a sociable person, especially if they don't have a Libra sign, then they probably won't be a sociable person. Or maybe a Scorpio would probably use that as like a weapon or something, you know, because it could get that. Because I mean, it's Mars is still there, so wisdom over you means that they have something over you, or a weapon, or if they need something from you, then they know how to. Oh my God, it's like here's the thing, right? Is if they know who you are as a person, right? Because every person has a need. Every person has a desire, essentially, right? And Scorpios work with desires. They ruled by a desireful planet, right? And then Pluto makes it power and control. So you desire power and control, right? That's you as Scorpio Mercury person. You desire power control over your own mind and your thoughts and all of that and your speech and da-da-da. So if you get to understand people, then you can understand everybody's individual needs, because you understand yourself and you understand that you have needs, right? So your particular needs would be, you want loyalty, you know, you want someone to be there forever until the day you die, and really mean that and really be about that shit, right? But you understand that not everybody has those particular needs. So you study people and then you realize, okay, this person has a need and their need is to get attention, because here's the thing with water. Water connects to emotions, right? And we all have emotions, and most of our emotions stem from our childhood, right? And in our childhood, if you grew up, I mean, we all have childhood traumas. So let's say, for example, me as a child, I didn't grow up with attention. So now my fear is fear of abandonment, or maybe I want attention. My desire is to have full undivided attention, right? Let's say as a child, I didn't get, let's say I didn't get something. For example, you guys can fill in the blanks, right? So a Mercury and Scorpio person, because they understand themselves and because they're so analytical and they're so I guess critical, yes, but they're so self-observant, they're so self-aware. It's like very similar to Virgo, and that's why a lot of Virgos and Scorpios will fuck with each other, because they do some of the similar things, but for different reasons, but for same reason. But for example, a Mercury and Scorpio person will understand that, okay, everybody has a specific need. So if a Mercury and Scorpio person wants to use you, or let's say they want to be a friend, or let's say they want to date you, let's say, whatever they need from you, your colleague, right? If a Mercury person, they're gonna first observe you. Let's say you want to be their friend. They're gonna be very cold at first, detached. Wait a minute, what you doing? I don't know you. Right? And that's the thing. The bitch, you don't know me. Fuck is you asking me you don't need to know my name. You don't even need to look at me. Like, I think a Mercury and Scorpio person is probably mad that people even have the audacity to look at them. No, I'm joking. Oh, me, whatever. You can comment down below. But it's a thing of, going back to my example, it's a thing of, they analyze people's needs, right? They see your need. They're like, okay, this is who you are. This is what you lack. And if I'm a Mercury and Scorpio person and I want to be a friend, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then I know how to give you that need. For example, let's say I want to date you. I'm a Mercury and Scorpio person, and you, whoever's watching this, I want to date you, right? So I'm first going to study you very from a distance, from in the dark. I'm going to watch you, be like, oh, okay, so she likes attention. She probably grew up with a mother or dad who didn't give her attention. So I will be the one who fulfills that lack, right? Because once again, Scorpio deals with desires, right? And desires mainly stem from you not having something. So when you don't have something, you want it. And that want is a desire. So they'll be like, okay, you love attention, right? And no matter how much attention you get, you still kind of feel empty. Because obviously, because 8th house shit, right? It's deep shit. Anyway, so they'll be like, okay, you want attention. But you know what? I'm a Mercury and Scorpio person, but I want to date you. I want to date you, or I want to be a friend, or whatever. So, how do I ensure that we are going to be friends forever? What do I do as a Mercury and Scorpio person? I give you all the attention in the world. I give you so much attention, right? And you feel so good. You like, damn, bitch, I found... But here's the thing. You don't realize that you're fucking with someone that really is about longevity and preservations. So how they're going to preserve this relationship and how they're going to preserve this friendship with you is they're going to give you attention and then slowly take it away. Just take it away. To once again create that void that you have. To once again recreate or re-trigger you, or maybe intentionally, unintentionally re-trigger you to feel those feelings that you felt as a child, right? That feeling of being lonely and, oh my God, why am I inadequate? And then you start feeling devalued, which AKA values 2nd house Taurus. Do you get it? So they will take it away as a test, because they'll test you, right? Because for them, Mercury and Scorpio, they're always thinking longevity. So they know how to keep people coming back to them so that they can contain and maintain that longevity that they want. Because the Mercury and Scorpio, even Scorpio energy, their desire is to have longevity, forever lasting loyalty, right? That's their desire, right? So because they understand their desires, they know how to nurture those desires. So if it means that they're gonna give you all that attention in the world, because now you understand that, oh my God, they make you feel like their attention is the best thing in the world, right? Then they take it away as a test, just to see what you're about, right? Just to see, okay, well, since I've given you attention, bitch, give me what I want, right? And you may not necessarily know this, you may not understand this psychologically, because you may be a Mercury in whatever sign that isn't Scorpio. Maybe Cancer or Mercury in Pisces will get this a lot quicker, right? So there'll be a lot more, they'll work a lot better together. You know the vibes, right? But it's the thing of, you may not understand that it's a whole psychological thing for you to psychologically even promise yourself that you want to be their friend. Like, you want to be that Mercury and Scorpio person's friend. You know what I'm saying? So they'll retract, they'll come reserve again, right? And they'll be patient, because the opposite is Taurus, so they know how to be patient. They understand the psychology of people. They understand that if you give something to someone that they love and then you take it away, they're going to go into a withdrawal panic state, right? And because a Mercury and Scorpio person is so controlled all the time, or they don't necessarily show that they're in lack, because if a Mercury and Scorpio person is in trouble, if they're in withdrawal, if they're in panic, they know how to control themselves and, you know, brood and then nurture that, because they've been doing that since they were a child or whatever, you know, vibes. Right? So they're gonna test to see how you do it, right? And obviously if you're in a state of panic, like, damn, you want that shit again. So guess what? Now they are your supplier. They are your lifetime supplier. And now you need them just as much as they need loyalty. Come on! Come on! Come on! Hold up. You can't make this shit up, bro. Come on! Come on! It's all about the psychology, baby. Psychology, boy. Come on. Even with everything, like, in conversation, Mercury Scorpio person just doesn't want to be dominated. Like, they don't want anyone to have any power over how they think, their actions, or, you know, how they analyze the world. They want to be in full control over their own lives, their own actions. They don't want to be, if you manipulate them once, it's like, okay, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. You see what I'm saying? So they don't want to have that. They want to have full control over their own minds, full control over their own actions, full control over how they deal with the world. They don't want to have no influence on. They don't want anyone to have an influence on them or an impact on them. And if they do, for them it's going to be a psychological war, because it's going to be like, damn, why did you make me feel that? Because it's like, no one can make me feel anything I don't want to make myself feel, you know? And that's the little trick Pluto will put you through. But, you know, I guess in this lifetime, you're just here to understand what it is to be in control of yourself. Even though, you know what, fuck it, whatever. I was gonna say, even though technically, like, I mean, are we really in control? Like, isn't the universe in control? But I guess you are in control, because if you can control yourself, technically you are in control. But anyway, bitch, you get the vibe. That's Mercury and Scorpio. That's all I have to say about Mercury and Scorpio people. These guys are super intellectually smart. And that's why, because they, you know, and that's the thing with water signs, is that this is why a lot of Mercury's water signs, they can hold grudges, is because water deals with the past, right? So these people will remember everything. They will remember everything. They will remember what you said, how you made them feel, what you were wearing. If you wore red that day and they wore red, they'll probably hate the color red forever because of that extreme nature of Scorpio energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's that deep. It's that deep. They never forget anything, because once again, water is also a very consuming, what's the word where you absorbing, it's an absorbing element, you know. So they won't forget it. They will absorb it. They will hold a grudge. They will nurture that grudge. They will grow that grudge like it's a child. And then the day that, because once again, they psychologically, if they want to get revenge, they're going to think about the exact way they want it to be. And because once again, Pluto is there, when it happens, it's going to have an impact. It's going to have an impact, and it's going to transform you. Because Mercury and Scorpios are forever transforming, because Pluto is also busy. Pluto's busy. Pluto is here with you guys. And then in turn, you learn from Pluto, and then you do that same shit with people's psychologies, or people who, you know, you feel deserve to feel that. Yeah, guys, that's my video. That was great. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Shout out to all the Scorpio Mercuries, period. You guys are like dope detectives. You guys can find shit out super quickly, which is why I don't lie to it. Just don't fucking lie. You should just have a tattoo saying, "Don't lie to me, bitch. Don't lie to me, bitch. I know everything. I can read your energy." That's it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in my next video. And in my next video, we're gonna talk about Mercury and Scorpio through the houses, as we always do with every video. So, you know, vibes, gang, gang, and I'll see you then.